And Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight the Astros open a three-game interleague weekend series against the defending world champion Boston Red Sox. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays as the Red Sox make their first ever visit to Minute Maid Park. JD?
There's been a Chowderhead invasion here this evening. The Boston Red Sox, pretty good ball club, very balanced. They score a lot of runs. They have outstanding starting pitching. They have a solid bullpen. The one thing they don't do is win a lot on the road. They're 18-22 on the road.
They have Daisuke Matsuzaka going tonight against Runelvis Hernandez making his Astros debut. Our Lincoln Mercury Better View matchup shows you two of the top players in the game.
And Manny Ramirez just passing 500 home runs a couple of weeks ago. He's been struggling a little bit the last 10 days or so. So Manny Ramirez, one of the big Red Sox stars the fans will get to see this weekend. Lance Berkman has heated it up again. After a rough weekend in Tampa, he was 7 for 10 in that series with the Rangers.
The environment is an exciting one, as for the first time the Red Sox fans get to see their club play a regular season game in Houston, and the Astros have won back-to-back series. We'll see this matchup, and it comes your way next. Today, inside, we'll check the starting lineup now for the Boston Red Sox in air-conditioned comfort. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Coco Crisp is the center fielder. Dustin Pedroia is at second base. Batting third, the right fielder, J.D. Drew. The cleanup man in left field is Manny Ramirez, with Mike Lowell at third base, Kevin Youkilis at first base, Jason Varitek the catcher, Julio Lugo at shortstop, Daisuke Matsuzaka the pitcher. Runelvis Hernandez throwing his first pitch as an Astro, misses low and outside. Ball one to Coco Crisp. Crisp will begin serving a 5-game suspension tomorrow. He's at .271 with 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. 28-year-old switch hitter from Los Angeles. The count's even at 1-1. Runelvis Hernandez made his last start last Friday for Round Rock against Omaha. Pitched very well, got a no decision, 7 innings, 2 earned runs. As a major league pitcher, he's won 25 and lost 33. 30 years old. 2 balls and a strike. He was in the mix for the Astros starting rotation spots in spring training, and really got a lot of work in at Round Rock this season. In May, he was 4-0 with a 1.98 ERA. It goes to 3-1 on Coco Crisp, who has a .311 on base average and has walked just 11 times.
One fastball after another so far from Hernandez, 93 miles an hour with pretty good action on it, tailing down and away from Crisp. Just needs to find the zone.
Strike. Tom Hallion's the umpire, and it's 3-2. The Red Sox are beginning a 10-game road trip following a 3-3 homestand. They'll be going to Tampa Bay and the Yankees after this 3-game set. Fly ball right field. Hunter Pence over toward the line. He's in the sun field right now. There's one out, and Hernandez makes the comeback and gets Crisp to make contact.
Rico scouting report now on Runelvis Hernandez, the big right-hander. Welcome back. First big league start in a while. September of 2006, last time he took the hill at the big league level. Get him while they're hot. He's really been pitching well. 6-1 with a .237 ERA since the beginning of May, and you've seen it already. He features that good hard sinker.
Dustin Pedroia takes strike one. Pedroia has been sizzling. 4-game hitting streak, 10 for his last 18. .289 for the season, 7 homers, 34 runs batted in. Pedroia hits one back and out of play. He's 24 years old, a second-round draft choice in 2004. He played at Arizona State. Rookie of the year in the American League last year. He hit .317.
After getting off to an absolutely dreadful start, Terry Francona stuck with him, and it paid dividends.
Line drive left field. Carlos Lee moves in. It's a hit in front of him. And Pedroia is on the 0-2 pitch with a 1-out single and a 5-game hitting streak now.
Carlos was going to be able to make a play on that ball.
Yeah.
He's going to hang up there for him.
Pedroia is 8 for 8 in steals. J.D. Drew is the batter. Drew looks at strike one. He's had a marvelous month of June. For the season, 308, 14 homers, 45 runs batted in for Drew. Lately, just 2 for his last 19. And he is 0 for his last 13. But he was piling up numbers earlier this month. And the throw goes over on Pedroia. The Red Sox are fast. They have 72 steals, second in the American League. And their percentage is 84%.
Very efficient.
Certain players are fast anyway. Not everybody in the lineup, obviously. Drew moves back.
Pedroia, Ellsbury, who's not in there tonight, obviously, is a speed demon. Drew can get a bag for you. Julio Lugo, capable of stealing bases. But then they've got some plotters, too. They hit into a lot of double plays. J.D. Drew, 10 home runs this month. He's very important, especially now with David Ortiz on the disabled list.
Yes, he is. And this Drew and Ramirez combination in the 3-4 spots has been a dynamic one for the Red Sox. Drew last year dipped to a career low 11 homers. He drove in 64 runs in a disappointing year for the Red Sox. But then he hit a grand slam in the league championship series. He fouls it back, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 32-year-old veteran, a first-round pick of the Cardinals. Kurt Schilling is out for the year. Just had surgery. Big Papi about to go out on a rehab assignment on the wrist. Bartolo Colon on the DL. Mike Timlin is rehabbing now.
Schilling may be done for good.
Yeah, he might be. And as he said a few days ago after the surgery, if he comes back in January and he's throwing 84, that's probably it for him, but he's able to get his velocity back.
Man up and pitch at 84. See what it's like, pal. Good grief. You gotta be kidding me. Anybody can throw 96 and be good.
13 pitches for Hernandez so far. Number 14 is ball 2, and this is what the Red Sox do. They really work the count and make a pitcher throw a lot of pitches. They're second in the American League in runs scored, second in total bases. They lead in on base average. Terry Francona's club 49-32 with a half-game lead over Tampa Bay.
Well, they're much like the Yankees in that regard. Really compete in every at-bat. Don't chase pitches. And it's just, and again, it's not, I don't believe it's because they have any magic pill they're taking or they preach it any more than anybody else. They just have those kinds of hitters. They put the roster together.
Strikeout, and that's out number 2. 94 mile per hour with movement.
It's the four-seam fastball up above the hands a little bit, a little hop as it gets into the hitting zone.
Manny Ramirez, a mixture of cheers and boos. 291 for Manny, 15 homers, 49 runs batted in. He just passed the illustrious 500 home run mark for his career. And there's a good strike one down low to him from Hernandez.
It's funny, Manny Ramirez has a reputation of being kind of a goofball, but anything but when it comes to hitting. He is a very smart hitter, very disciplined. Slam dunk, first ballot Hall of Famer.
.313 career hitter coming into this season. Manny just turned 36 at the end of May. He's driven in more than 1,600 runs in his career. And he's been bothered by some hamstring problems. The Red Sox hoping that this smaller left field does not bother his legs. Look at Manny and some of his mannerisms, high-fiving the fans after that catch. And then cutting off the throw from his fellow outfielder on the way back. Johnny Damon on the way back to the infield. And Kurt Schilling's working, and Manny's making a little fun of it.
Manny being Manny, man. He's great, man.
He's great.
Yeah, third-person reference.
It's his alter ego.
He is one of a kind, a real character. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, he's been known to show up at Fenway Park, according to stories, at 10:30, 11 in the morning and take some fly balls.
Good slider there by Hernandez.
Manny 3 for 6 lifetime against Rinalvis Hernandez with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Hernandez was in the minors all last season. Nice block by Quintero, and it's 1-2 on the breaking ball to Manny Ramirez.
Well, I think the game plan with Manny Ramirez is something we talked about a lot when the Yankees were in town. You know, 0-2, go ahead and take your shot, see if you can get him to chase, but I think you want to continue to nibble because you're just going to work your way back into a favorable hitter's count. I think this is the situation, the 1-2 pitch, where you want to make your pitch.
And it's a bouncer. Miguel Tejada to his left, flipping to David Newhan at second for the forced play. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Ronelvis Hernandez throws up a 0 in his first inning as an Astro. Starting lineup for Cecil Cooper, the former Red Sox first baseman, Astros. And it's Michael Bourne leading it off in center field. David Newhan at second base. Miguel Tejada at shortstop. Lance Berkman at first base. Carlos Lee left field. Jeff Plum third base. Hunter Pence right field. Humberto Quintero catcher. Ronelvis Hernandez on the mound.
Rico scouting report on Daisuke Matsuzaka, road samurai. He's 3-0, 2.60 ERA on the road this year with a batting average below 200 against him. Need to work the count. He has a tendency to nibble a little bit. Be patient. You should be able to work some walks. He does not give in. And I think the Red Sox would prefer to see him be a little bit more aggressive. That's just not his nature.
Michael Bourne takes the first one. It's a fastball for strike 1. Bourne at 234 with 4 homers. Has driven in 15 runs.
Matsuzaka fastball, curveball, cutter, changeup.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Works up in the zone with a fastball. He's more of a fly ball pitcher. Gets a lot of swings and misses up in the zone.
27 years old. Last year was his first year in the major leagues. He was a teammate of Kazuo Matsui with the Seibu Lions in Japan. That one got away. 1-2. Is that the gyro ball?
That is the gyro ball.
That looked a little gyro.
I'm sure it's some kind of a changeup he's trying to turn over. I guess it's the gyro ball.
Bourne fouls it away. Sean Barry said, Michael, the reason for his better hitting in the month of June is that he's staying closed a little bit better, keeping the bat through the zone. 313 in June. 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. And what Sean likes is he's hitting some ground balls up the middle and to the left side. He was 4 for 11 against the Rangers, including a home run, and the appeal goes to third. They get a strike called there from Paul Nauert for a strikeout for Matsuzaka. Bourne says no. 69th strikeout of the year for Michael Bourne.
Yeah, it looked like he checked it. So it was a very difficult call for the umpire. Pitch Tracker is brought to you by Wing Street. Don't forget to order your wings from Wing Street, delivered by Pizza Hut. You've been warned. Yeah, that didn't look like much of a swing. That is a problem pitch for him, that breaking ball. Down under the hands.
David Newhan had quite a night last night. There's ball 1 in his first start as an Astro. He had 3 hits. He's 3 for 6 now. With 2 runs batted in, he had a 2-run double in the second inning last night in the Astros 7-2 win over the Rangers. That one had some action in toward Newhan, and the count goes to 1-1 on David.
That's the cutter. Left-handed hitters hitting .241 against Dice K. Right, he's just a .189.
He was 15-12 for the Red Sox last year with a 4.40 ERA. There's that gyro ball again. And it's 2-1. Matsuzaka piled up 204 innings last year. He had a win in the Game 7 of the American League Championship Series, and he won Game 3 of the World Series. Tap foul. 2-2. He made it through only one inning in his last start. He had been on the disabled list with a shoulder problem. 23-13 in his major league career with a 4.17 ERA. In Japan, he was 108-60 with a 2.95. Had a pretty brief outing last time out. One inning, 7 runs. Foul back.
Looks like he's got, at least from what I've been told, in that one inning, he was, around 90 with his fastball. He's hitting 93 here, and that's when he's right. So a little rust, obviously, last time out. There had to be some concern that the shoulder was still tender, but probably feeling pretty good about the life on his fastball they're seeing here in the early going.
He threw only 48 pitches in that game against the Cardinals. Newhand swings at a breaking pitch and strikes out. Matsuzaka off to a very nice start.
Again, you have to force him into the zone. You see this cutter, slider, whatever you want to call it, off the plate, down and in, but it looked good coming out of his hand.
Six feet 227 from Tokyo. Miguel Tejada faces him. And the fastball is good for strike one to Miggy. 288, 10 homers, 43 runs batted in for Tejada. He has 90 hits. That's tied for 9th in the National League. Tejada was 2 for 13 in the Texas series. Another fastball down low makes it 0-2 for Matsuzaka. And the seam heads are out. Is it hard to talk through one of those?
I don't think he's allowed to. Maybe you dress like a mascot. You can't talk.
Fly ball up the right field line. Coming over J.D. Drew in the foul territory. He's out of room. And it's still 0-2. The Red Sox are the one team in the majors the Astros have never beaten. Boston swept the 3-game series at Fenway Park from Houston in 2003. They've been here a couple of times for exhibition games, but this is their first regular season contest here. Lance Berkman on deck. Tejada trying to reach. The Astros are 10th in the National League in runs scored. And the sharp breaking ball gets it for Matsuzaka. He strikes out the side in a 0-0 game after 1. From Jose Valverde on his favorite music. Stay tuned for that. Well, a save would be pretty sweet music for him tonight in game 1 of this 3-game series. No hit John Lester goes tomorrow night against Brandon Backey. And Sunday it's the native of Spring, Texas, Josh Beckett against Brian Moeller. There's a text poll, JD.
Which Boston team are you most tired of hearing about? Vote A for the Sox, B for the Celtics, C for the Patriots, who are overwhelmingly leading this poll, and the New England Revolution, that's the soccer team, coming in at 4%. If you'd like to play along, 35021. And standard text message rates do apply.
Runelvis Hernandez in a 0-0 game delivers strike one to Mike Lowell. Lowell on a 4-game hitting streak begins the night at 287. He has 11 homers. He's driven in 41 runs. 8 hits in his last 15 at bats. Lowell drove in 120 last year, 5th in the AL. 0-2.
I think a lot of teams come in here, especially teams with a lot of right-handed power, and they get enticed by the Crawford boxes and they start to cheat a little bit, try to hook the ball. It shouldn't be a problem for the Red Sox playing their home games in Fenway Park.
Foul back.
Used to having that wall in close proximity. This one a fair bit shorter, though, so it is a little bit of a temptation.
They should feel pretty much at home. Foul ball, and Lowell keeps the count at no balls, 2 strikes. Lowell hit .324 last season. He was the club MVP. Mike, 34 years old. He was an all-star last year. Grounds that one foul. It's been really a lot of enjoyable baseball for Astros fans and fans of the Yankees and Red Sox, for that matter, on these 2 different weekends in June for the Yankees to come. The Red Sox.
I didn't find that Yankee weekend all that enjoyable.
Well, not as far as the results. Strikeout number 2 for Hernandez.
Well, split finger pitch there. So we've seen the good heater, the slider, and now a splitter as he puts away Mike Lowell. Why we're booing Euclid? Or is it Boston fans going, you?
Yeah, that's what they did when he was introduced. Yu is hitting .303.
Can't hit like that.
He does. Strike 1. With pretty good results. 13 homers, 47 runs batted in.
Aye, matey.
Well, you can see a black eye. He was hit with the 1-hop throw. Broken bat. Barehanded, but not successfully by Jeff Blum. And Euclid reaches.
Don't know that he had to. Tough call. And when you're down there in the field trying to make a play, it's not like you can sit there and watch the guy go down the line. Euclid got jammed. He got a bad break out of the box, and he's not a real speedy guy. And Jeff determined that he did need to try to make the barehanded play, just came up empty. Ruled a base hit.
Hit number 2 for the Red Sox. Switch hitting catcher Jason Varitek next. And he gets a slow breaking ball. Strike 1 to Varitek. 231, 7 homers, 25 runs batted in. For the Red Sox captain. He's the all-time Boston leader in games caught. So Hernandez showing some signs of giving the infielders business with the power sinker and change of speeds so far tonight. That one's low, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Varitek, who's not been able to have the kind of offensive success so far that he's had in many of his top seasons. 2 hits in his last 32 at bats. He's hitting .133 in his last 24 games with only 1 home run.
Well, Varitek's been around a long time. He's 35, 36, something like that. So it'd be understandable that he's in a little bit of a decline here. Still an important piece, though. A solid veteran catcher.
And he's done some good slugging over the course of his career, as those numbers represent. His top RBI year 85 back in 2003. What a trade that brought him, along with Derek Lowe, for Heathcliff Slocum from Seattle. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jason Varitek. And earlier this year, he caught the no-hitter by tomorrow night's starter, John Lester, becoming the first catcher in history to catch 4 no-hitters in his career. Deo Nomo, Derek Lowe, Clay Buchholz, John Lester.
Ash had 3, right?
Yep. That's ball 4. Now 2 men on for Julio Lugo, the former Astro. Julio was visiting with some of the fans before batting practice tonight. Returning to Minute Maid Park. 274, 1 homer, 18 runs batted in. Lugo left the Astros in 2000, went to Tampa Bay. He's walked 30 times. He has a 366 on base average, so it seems that he's acquired more plate discipline since he left. That's ball one. Lugo hit .237 last year, but he drove in 73 runs. Last year he put on a good surge after the All-Star break with a .280 average. Before he hit .197. Oh, that pitch looked pretty good. Hernandez froze. He could not believe he didn't get a strike call out of Tom Halley, and now Lance Berkman wisely comes in.
Yeah, pretty good looking pitch there. Over the plate for sure. Allen must have deemed it a little low.
Tejada and Berkman in to settle him down. And now he's a 2-0 on Lugo with Matsuzaka on deck. Halley and Crawford, Mulchinski and Nauert on this umpiring crew. Double play ball. Tejada gets a two-hopper, shovels to Newhand. 6-4-3. No runs, a hit, and a man left. After 1.5, there's no score. Nothing going to the bottom of the second. Coming up later on the Toyota Truck Game Break, we'll have Kevin Eschenfelder taking a closer look at this Astros Red Sox series. It's live in the middle of the seventh here on FSN Houston. Elvis Hernandez was upset by that call, but he came back to get a double play ball.
Yeah, tailor-made double play. Couple sharp hops to Tejada and a little flip to Newhand. Even though Lugo runs well, he was easy.
68th double play of the year for the Astros. Now it's Lance Berkman batting. 367, 21 homers, 63 runs batted in. He had a sizzling series against the Rangers. Daisuke brings it a little bit inside, and it's ball one at 92. Berkman continues to lead the majors in several departments: total bases, runs, extra base hits, and slugging. And has a 2-0 pitch coming next. Matsuzaka was 8-0 until he lost last time out. 50 extra base hits already. There's a shot into right field past a diving Youkilis. The Astros get their first hit. Berkman now has 104 hits this season.
3 hits and a walk in the ball game yesterday. 7 out of 10 in that series with the Rangers. Youkilis pretty good down there at first base, but not able to get that one. Struck a little too sharply by the Puma.
Berkman takes his lead. Carlos Lee has built a 6-game hitting streak, 8 for 20. There's strike one on the fastball. Lee is up there right behind Berkman and runs batted in with 59 with 17 homers and a .277 batting average. He's really picked up the pace in June, hitting .303. Jeff Blum on deck. And a lazy foul ball goes back into the seats. No balls, 2 strikes for Daisuke Matsuzaka, who pitched the opener in Japan this year for the Red Sox against Oakland. Special thrill for him after all of his years in Japanese baseball. And he helped the Red Sox get off to a nice start. Pitched well in that first game. And he beat Oakland at Oakland in the next game. He won 4 consecutive starts. And then he kept it going through May with that very fine record in May. And on the road this season, he's 3-0 with a 2.60 ERA. Batting average against him on the road is .163. Lee fouls it back. Still 1-2 to Carlos.
Pretty aggressive with that fastball, 94 miles an hour right over the heart of the plate. His reputation is that he's throwing more fastballs tonight than I anticipated. Talk to people about him and say he's got a good heater, but he loves to nibble and he loves to throw his breaking ball, try to get hitters to chase.
Go. Carlos Lee unloads a long one, but on the warning track, it is caught. That ball died. And Coco Crisp got back there to take it in for out number 1. Looked like he's going to be well up on that wall. And it ran out of steam, and it's out number 1.
I think the heat on the glass windows kept it in. It's the heat waves. Just a little bit underneath it, just a little bit out in front. If it gets a little deeper, he probably knocks it out of here.
Near miss. Now Jeff Blum. That one goes behind second base, and Julio Lugo moves out into shallow center field. Blum retired, 2 outs, and Hunter Pence will bat next. Jack in the Box standing shows you the top interleague hitters this season. Aaron Miles is number 1 at 488. Then it's Dustin Pedroia, 422. Delman Young, Lance Berkman, and Curtis Granderson. The Astros are 5-10 in interleague play. The Red Sox are a reverse 10-5. Youkilis and Berkman talk it over. Hunter Pence in the box. 269 for Hunter, 10 homers, 40 runs batted in.
National League needs to have a big weekend.
Oh yeah.
American League's kicking their tail this year.
124 to 84. American League averaging 5 runs per game to the Nationals 4.1. AL ERA 3.73. NL 4.60. Breaking ball. Hunter started for that one. He checked his swing. The appeal went down to first base umpire Jerry Crawford. Safe sign from him, and it's ball 1.
There's only been one other year where the American League's been more dominant than this one in interleague play, and I'm a little bit surprised by it because I don't see, when I look at the makeup of the different clubs, and maybe it's just because of the ones we're seeing, I don't see the big disparity.
Up the middle to Matsuzaka. Low line drive, softly hit, no runs a hit. And a man left, and after 2, there's no score. Home run duos in the majors this year. It's Ugla and Jacobs, Utley and Howard with 41, Berkman and Lee, 38. Another dynamic duo.
If you were to handicap that at the start of the year, or try to predict who would be on that list, Ugla and Jacobs, you weren't even considered it.
No. Strike 1 to Matsuzaka, leading it off here in the Red Sox third. He is 0 for 4 in his career in the regular season, but came up with a big 2-run single in World Series Game 3, which he won for the Red Sox over Colorado. No balls, 2 strikes to Matsuzaka. Runelvis Hernandez was the opening day starter for Kansas City in 2003. And he went 6 shutout innings. Well, this is his opening day, so to speak, for the Astros in 2008.
He battled some weight problems in Kansas City. They sent him down to Omaha in 06 early to try to get in shape.
Strikeout.
They were very frustrated with his weight and his workout program at the time, but a second opportunity for him.
Bart.
Well, Bill, the Astros take on the Dodgers Tuesday, and the first 10,000 fans of the game will receive a big Puma t-shirt courtesy of Gallery Furniture. Tuesday is also Double Play Tuesday presented by Powerade. You can get 2 tickets for $2 with the label from 2 32-ounce Powerade bottles. Get your tickets today by going to Astros.com or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS.
How come Puma hasn't called the Puma to do a shoe deal?
Good question.
Seems like a natural.
Yeah, it does. It's ball 1 to Covelli, Lois, Crisp. 2 balls, no strikes. Coco, very good center fielder, outstanding defensive player. 7th round pick of the Cardinals in '99. They traded him to Cleveland. Boston got him in a deal in '06. And it's 3 balls, no strikes. Crisp is 12 for 15 in steals. He was the Cardinals minor leaguer of the year in 2001. 4-pitch walk puts him on first. That's the 2nd walk for Hernandez. Dustin Pedroia to follow. You told us last night about Ian Kinsler and Dustin Pedroia being teammates at Arizona State. And Pedroia 1 out at second base, so Kinsler transferred to Missouri. Pedroia is really fun to watch, but the amazing thing is that for a small player, he just swings as if he wants to hit the ball 600 feet. And yet, he's able to control his strikeouts. He's only struck out 29 times this year.
And he does hit the ball the other way, so he's taking big aggressive swings, but not wild, pulling off the ball type swings. It's fine to swing hard as long as you're swinging at strikes. He's not a real big guy, so it's going to be kind of a short, compact swing. Because he's short and compact, that certainly helps his cause. It gives the pitcher a little tighter zone to throw to.
Alberto Quintero one-hopped his throw down to Lance Berkman. Now they look at the baseball because it went into the dirt and throw out another one.
I went to chat with Dirk after the golf tournament the other day at the Tommy Bahama out in the Woodlands, and he said, if I were a scout, I'd be on the lookout for little guys with power for that very reason. They're strong, they've got a compact swing, and they've got a small strike zone. I guess the ideal guy would be like a Ricky Henderson.
Strike makes it 1-1 to Pedroia. Pedroia last year had more walks than strikeouts. He had a .380 on base average and still provided some pop. He hit a homer in the league championship series and another one in the World Series.
He made a list last year of all the people that said he couldn't play at the start of the year.
That's a motivator.
He's just one of those guys, one of those, scrappy guys, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Apparently, one of the local writers in Boston a while back went up and asked him, said, "Did you really keep a list last year early when you were struggling? Who said you couldn't play?" And Dustin said, "Yeah, and you're on it."
That's great.
But apparently, he came home from a game one night and his wife was on the phone calling back home crying. I mean, he was getting hammered in the local talk shows and the newspaper.
And he had surgery in November after the season last year. Runner starts and stops. Line drive, left field corner. And reaches the base of the wall. Kicks out to Lee. He fires into second. A play there. And Newhand didn't get the tag. Pedroia moves in with a double. Newhand, with his back turned to the base runner, was trying to locate him, and Pedroia went in through the back door.
And Carlos comes up firing to second base. The front runner had already stopped at third. Had they sent him to giving him a little bit more of an aggressive turn around third base once this throw went into second, maybe they score him. There's the play at second as Newhand leaves his feet to try to apply the tag. And Pedroia with the head first slide just in ahead of Newhand's tag.
And now the Red Sox fans are chanting, "Let's go Red Sox." Runners at second and third, one out for J.D. Drew. Astros fans are booing the Red Sox fans for chanting. And it's going to be a fun night here. Drew struck out in the first inning. Middle infielders lay back with one out. Drew takes a look at it, and it's ball one. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Some people thought the Red Sox had made a mistake with the contract they gave J.D. Drew as a free agent in 07. He's having a fine year this year. 316 with men in scoring position. Last year he had 11 homers and 64 runs batted in and 466 at bats. Career low for home runs for him last year. He's already hit 14 this year. High to right field. That'll be a 3-run shot for J.D. Drew. 3-0 Red Sox. It's number 15 for Drew, giving him 48 runs batted in.
They can really make the case that he has been their MVP this year with Ortiz hurt a fair bit. He's a big left-handed sock amongst a number of right-handers. Ramirez, Lowell, Euclid, all right-handed hitters. And J.D., the legit left-handed power threat in the Red Sox lineup right now, got out in front of that pitch. He is so strong.
A 3-0 lead for the Red Sox, who are 18-22 on the road. And Manny Ramirez is the batter with 1 out. He bounced into a force play in the first. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Elvis Hernandez has no career decisions against Boston with a 4.85 ERA. Strike evens the count of 1-1 with Mike Lowell on deck. Hernandez surrendered 11 homers for Round Rock in 84 2/3 innings. Two and one. Manny Ramirez gets plaudits as one of the best right-handed hitters of his era.
"13 consecutive years with at least 20 home runs, 9 consecutive years driving in 100 or more.
It's 3-1.
This is a great example here. I'm talking about what a smart hitter he is. Hernandez trying to get him to chase some borderline pitches, and he's just laying off, baiting Elvis into the strike zone.
3-2. Manny grew up just a few minutes away from Yankee Stadium. Only 2 players have hit more homers against the Yankees in their careers than Ramirez, Jimmy Fox and Ted Williams. And he's hit 29 long balls at Yankee Stadium, which is being torn down, as you know, after this year.
Nice.
Strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Hernandez.
A great pitch there. A 2-seamer outside corner at the knees.
Mike Lowell. Strike 1. Lowell spent some time on the DL with a left thumb injury. Strike makes it 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The Red Sox have been dominant in interleague play since the 2005 season, going 38-13 against the National League clubs. Tapped, and Tejada comes after it. Going on the run to get Lowell. 3 runs, 2 hits. J.D. Drew hits number 15, and the Red Sox lead it 3-0. Has already been covered. Let's see what we have coming up next. It's the Dodge Texas Truck Stop feature. Let's hear what Jose Valverde had to say when he talked to Patty Smith.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I like the reggaeton. I like the music of 50 Cent and Poor Daddy or these guys.
Humberto Quintero leads it off in the home third inning. There's ball one to him. 258, no homers, 1 RBI for Humberto, and increased playing time. 11 games so far, but perhaps a lot of games behind the dish to come for Humberto with the Astros.
I'm going to guess 4 seasons for Jose.
Are you?
Yeah. Valverde. Vivaldi.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
You think he knows anything about that? Foul ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Renelvis Hernandez on deck. He'll go over and pick up that foul ball. Matsuzaka brought an ERA of 3.46 into this game. Of course, it was much lower before his last start. Last start brought him his first loss since September 8th of last year. That's a shot, but Mike Lowell's there to glove it. They turn it into out number 1.
On the balls of his feet, ready to react.
Lowell, a very solid glove man over the course of his career. Renelvis Hernandez is the batter. 0 for 5 in his career. Michael Bourne is on deck. Here's ball 1. The Astros have come up against some good pitching from the American League clubs. They've hit 257, and they have failed to average as much as 4 runs per game in interleague play. 2-0.
It's tough this weekend too when you look at the matchups. Lester 6-3 with a 3.13 goes tomorrow. Beckett 7-5, 3.73 ERA on Sunday.
There's Josh. I understand he took some of his teammates on a little hunting expedition on the day off at his ranch. Inside, and that spins him around on ball 3.
Looked like that good 94-degree hunting weather.
Yeah. Chill in the air when you get up in the morning.
Go ahead, big man, turn it loose, hit one out of the ballpark.
Well, he draws a walk. That's a surprise. Matsuzaka seems to be pretty well locked in until this.
Lost his focus with the opposing pitcher up there. Independence Day will be celebrated early at Minute Maid Park on Wednesday. The Astros take on the Dodgers. First 10,000 adults 16 and older will receive a grill set. That's from Kielbasa. It's not for your teeth, that's for your grill. After the game, fireworks, weather permitting. Tickets start at just $1 for kids, $7 for adults. Astros.com.
And is not being held on by Youkilis as Michael Bourne looks at strike 1. Michael struck out in the first inning. Michael lost a hit going back to June 12th. They took a hit away from him in that Milwaukee game. The ball that Prince Fielder dropped on a throw from Bill Hall. It was originally scored an infield hit, but the play has been changed by the Major League Baseball scoring committee. It took 2 weeks to change it. That's kind of a lengthy review period. 1 ball, 1 strike, but he lost that base hit. And it's now an error on Fielder. Strike, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, I remember that play. It was clearly a ball Prince should have caught. It was just belt high, and he dropped it. But the argument was, would Michael have beaten the play? He must have contacted the umpire and said I was going to ring him up had he caught it.
Maybe they did. Possible. Well, there were runs, 2 runs then later happened because of a homer right after that. What was ruled an infield hit at the time. So the runs allowed by Guillermo Mota now are unearned as a result of that scoring change. 2-2. Rolled out to second. Pedroia with the flip. Lugo, no double play on Michael Bourne. David Newhan bats with Bourne at first and 2 outs.
Not with Michael Bourne running. And just about anybody else, that's a routine double play. And I suspect he'll be trying to steal a bag here.
He's grounded into 2 double plays all year. Youkilis holding him. Newhand the batter. Newhand struck out in the first. David's a .303 lifetime hitter against the Red Sox. And it's ball 1 to him. The Astros had a good night last night offensively, scoring 7 runs against Texas. And they banged out 15 hits. That ties their best game of the season. Newhand with 3 of those hits, 2 runs batted in. 1 ball and 1 strike as David makes his second start at second base. Michael Bourne has 30 steals. Willie Taveras the leader. Jacoby Ellsbury's on the Boston bench with 34. Bourne is the first Houston player since Eric Yelding stole 31 bases by the All-Star break in 1990 to have that many. Fouled, and it's 1-2. But the American League clubs have really defended against the steal for the Astros, who have 13 steals in 24 tries in interleague play.
I thought for sure Michael would be going there in the first couple of pitches. Now, not as favorable a count.
Time had been called before that pitch.
Matsuzaka holding the ball a long time, trying to disrupt his rhythm over there at first base. He doesn't appear to be particularly quick with his delivery home. Veritek throwing out a little bit under 20%.
Matsuzaka had a mild rotator cuff strain. That's what put him on the disabled list. He's been trying to sink the ball more this year. Bouncer to shortstop. Lugo in for the 2-hopper. And he throws out Newhand. No runs, no hits, and a man left after 3-0 Red Sox. The important plays in this game. Here's what you missed. Daisuke Matsuzaka struck out the side in the first inning. And then J.D. Drew hit a 3-run homer in the third, scoring Coco Crisp and Dustin Pedroia.
Those 3-run homers. 1 out in the inning when it started. A walk to Crisp, Pedroia double, and then the home run. Pay for those walks, boy, against this club.
Strike to Kevin Youkilis. He reached on an infield hit to third base. He was hit under his right eye with a warm-up throw, and that's the reason that mouse is under his right eye. Lashes one toward the left field wall. And he hustles around first, heading for second base. Carlos Lee with the throw to Newhand. It's a double for Youkilis. He's 2 for 2. That's his 21st double.
Broken bat infield single first time up. And this ringing double. Boy, what a swing of the bat this is. Watch how aggressive this swing is. Whack. Really throws that top hand.
That's hit number 5 for the Red Sox. 2 of them doubles. Jason Veritek walked in the second inning. Leo Lugo's on deck. That's ball 1 to Veritek. Red Sox, an explosive offensive club. They have now scored 409 runs this year. They have played 81 games. They're 17 games over to tie their high water mark of the season.
95 or more wins in 4 of the last 5 years for the Sox. They've really turned things around after a pretty long stretch of mediocrity. Now right there with the Yankees, maybe a notch above the Yankees
And now they're viewed as the model organization, developing their own young talent. Terry Francona steady at the helm. Two balls and a strike. Ed Wade fired him in Philadelphia, but they're good friends now. They were on Stairmasters or treadmills next to each other at the winter meetings one day. Had a workout, and then tonight around the batting cage they had a chat. It's interesting how a manager can be successful at one stop and not successful at another.
Yeah, and just ask Joe Torre. It's amazing what those good players do for you.
3 balls, 1 strike. We can ask him Monday. The Dodgers are here. 66 pitches for Runelvis Hernandez.
No disrespect to Terry Francona, but I think Pee Wee Herman could win with this Red Sox club.
Another walk. Veritek on with his second of the night. Now runners at first and second for Lugo, who bounced into a double play. That's walk number 3 for Hernandez. Quintero out. Aflac trivia time.
Aflac!
Full house here on a Friday night. Aflac wants to know who are the only 2 teams the Red Sox have never beaten on the road. It's got to be interleague. You know the answer? Is that what that means?
It's just my duck call.
Okay.
I would guess the Astros.
Well, that's certainly true. We know that much. Popped up. Tejada underneath. Infield fly is called. 1 out. Who do you think the other team might be?
Brooklyn Dodgers.
That's certainly true as well. Daisuke Matsuzaka will be the batter. He struck out looking in the 3rd. Has to be somebody that haven't played very much. I'll guess the Padres. Berkman charging. The bunt is missed, and it's strike 1.
Well, the bunt here for Matsuzaka is kind of a dicey proposition, the way Lance is right up in his grill. I don't know how, his reputation is that he's a pretty good athlete, and you talked about the big hit he got in the World Series, so they might let him try to swing out.
Yeah, they were going to let him do it.
I mean, you might as well.
1-1.
The key here for the Red Sox is Veritek has to get an aggressive lead off first with Lance cheating in that much, because if Matsuzaka swings away and hits a routine ground ball in the middle infield, it's a double play ball. So Veritek has an opportunity to get a huge lead and break that up.
Fly ball, left field line. Carlos Lee coming over. The fans getting up in the seats. And it's foul and out of play. 1-2.
A good swing there by Matsuzaka.
Yeah.
Might have to give Lance the back up and let him bunt sign. A little careless with that breaking ball. Everybody's dangerous. Well, almost everybody. With a bat in their hands, got to be careful.
And a foul ball keeps it at 1 ball, 2 strikes. DeMarlo Hale is the third base coach of the Red Sox. Luis Alicea coaches at first for them. Their pitching coach is John Farrell. He's very highly regarded. Former Astro Dave Magadan is the hitting coach. Strikeout of Matsuzaka. Number 5 for Hernandez. He had 63 strikeouts in 84 innings at AAA this season.
the difference between a good breaking ball and a bad one. The bad one, Matsuzaka flirted with a home run. The bad one, or the good one, take a seat.
Coco Crisp will begin serving that 5-game suspension tomorrow night for charging the mound after he was hit by a James Shields pitch against Tampa Bay. There's ball 1, and that being the next stop for the Red Sox on this road trip. Some of the media folks are looking for fireworks. Apparently Jonathan Papelbon has said something to the effect of you can expect something to happen next time we meet, sometime down the road. But Coco's going to be serving his suspension for that series.
See, that's something you probably shouldn't say.
No.
You should just, if you feel like you have to take a shot at somebody, then do it. But and Papelbon, you know, he's as a closer, you know, he never would be in a position to do that.
No. And Sean Casey just returned tonight from serving his 3-game suspension from that fracas.
How could the mayor be in the fight?
It's hard to believe, isn't it? Tapped outside first base. 1 and 2. That was a pretty good one, though. And these two teams now have that going, and they're only a half game apart in the standings. So there should be a pretty good turnout when the Red Sox get to St. Petersburg.
And some of them may even be Tampa Bay fans.
It's possible.
Because
but maybe not.
That's been the norm down there over the years is when the Red Sox and Yankees come to town, the ballpark fills up with transplanted Northerners.
Chris fouls it back. It's all a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Yeah, Chris went out and James Shields threw a haymaker at him and missed. There were actually some punches traded in that exchange.
I think Johnny Gomes is a bit of a marked man.
Yeah.
Apparently he was kind of throwing some sucker punches in the pile.
Yeah, that's what we've heard. Grounded foul. And a lot of those folks in Red Sox Nation still expect the Yankees to be a factor before everything is said and done. Yankees started the day 5.5 behind Boston. They were drubbed by the Mets in game 1 of their day-night Subway Series doubleheader. 15-6. Mike Pelfrey beating Geis. Carlos Delgado hit 2 homers, giving him 12.
He drove in 9 runs in that
Did
game.
he really?
Yeah. Franchise record for the Mets.
Wow. A-Rod hit his 15th for the Yankees. And now the fans will get on the subway trains and the players will hop on buses and go across town for game 2 tonight at Shea. White Sox took care of the Cubs 10-3. Jose Contreras beat Ryan Dempster. Giovanni Soto hit his 13th for the Cubbies. Jim Edmonds number 8. Mike Fontenot number 4. Nick Swisher hit his 9th for the White Sox. Here's a long at bat here for Coco Crisp. And 79 pitches have been thrown by Runelvis Hernandez.
They're having fun up in Arlington.
What are they doing?
Phillies scored 5 in the top of the 3rd. Rangers scored 5 in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a 6-5 Ranger lead after 3. Kinsler and Davis. Homer, that's first major league home run.
Oh, yeah. Chris Davis.
Chris Davis, and Feliz went deep for the Phils.
Chris Davis got a hit in his major league debut here last night as a pinch hitter. Lined, and Tejada's right there for that humpback liner. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded, middle of the 4th inning, 3-0 Red Sox. One is the Astros. Never played them on the road until tonight. And the Dodgers.
Said Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, you did.
It's close enough.
We'll give you credit for that. And we'll give Daisuke credit for throwing much better than he did in his last start when he had a 35-pitch first inning, giving up 4 runs. Then he left the game with 3 runners on base in the 2nd inning, and a grand slam followed. So he was tagged for 7 earned runs in 1 inning. And let's see that little duck tour noisemaker you have. There it is.
That's from the duck boat in Baltimore.
Yeah. Miguel Tejada. Bouncer up the middle. Pedroia, quick throw on to first. One pitch, one out for Matsuzaka.
Well, and we talked about in the Rico scouting report on Matsuzaka that you needed to be patient and work the count because he will walk some people and he'll pitch his way into some favorable hitters counts if you're patient. But the Astros haven't been particularly patient. He's thrown just 43 pitches.
Lance Berkman worked the count to 2-0 and he shot a single into right field. 45 pitches for Matsuzaka, 1 hit and 1 walk allowed. Berkman, the only man to reach him for a hit, and Lance now has 8 hits in his last 11 at bats. That's a fastball for strike 1.
Little hesitation at the top, fairly common with a lot of the Japanese pitchers. Still has to be a little bit of a challenge for the hitters, timing wise.
Yeah. 1-1. Berkman now with his .369 batting average at the moment as the best batting average in the first half in Houston franchise history. This is game number 80. 1-2. Lance hit .365 in the first half of the 0-1 season.
Makes him the MVP. Only in small letters.
Is that a little
it's only the first half?
That's not a stuffed Puma, is it? He checked his swing on appeal to Paul Nauert, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I bet you that's what it's meant to be. I don't know.
Well, it might be. Do they have spots?
I don't know much about the Puma.
That could be a cheetah. Could be a leopard. Matsuzaka takes care of out number 2.
Well, we saw a pretty good swing from Matsuzaka. Looks like he fields his position pretty well. Not that this was a difficult chance. We're quickly reacting as a big follow through. He takes his time and gets his man.
Let's go to Bart.
Well, the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center making cancer history brings you this day in Astros history. On this date in 1987, Kevin Bass hit for the cycle +1, throwing another double to help secure a win for Jim Bechet's over the Giants. I'm sure JD remembers that one fondly.
Gee, I hope I didn't give up all 5 of those.
87. Now that was the year the Astros and the Giants were in contention, and the Giants nailed down a playoff spot that year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jeff Plum's on deck. Big cut by Carlos. 1-2.
Carlos just missed hitting a home run last time up. And a hanging slider and hit it deep to left field. Just didn't quite get enough of it. And he knows he just missed a pitch there too. You can see the frustration.
Former Astro Craig Shipley is in charge of the Pacific Rim scouting for the Red Sox. He had something to do with signing Dice K. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's getting rave reviews for his work in the Red Sox organization. Right-handed batters are hitting .189 against Dice K this year. He threw 250 pitches in a high school tournament game in Japan. Mike Lowell comes over for this foul pop.
It's incredible. 250 pitches.
It's a 17-inning game. The Puma does not have spots. Line drive to right. J.D. Drew without number 3. In the 4th inning, Dice K sets down the Astros in order to maintain his 3-0 lead.
lead the Astros 3-0. Let's revisit our Astros text poll question of the game. We asked you, which Boston team are you most tired of hearing about? And your choices were Sox, Celtics, Patriots, or Revolution. The Patriots still holding a commanding lead. If you want to join in, or if you want to write in the Boston Bruins, feel free. 350-21.
Dustin Pedroia fouls it. There's strike one as the fifth inning gets underway. Pedroia is 2 for 2 in this game. Single, a double, a run scored. Drew and Ramirez to follow. That's a tough threesome for any pitcher, the way these three guys are hitting this year. There's where that souvenir wound up. She's a Red Sox fan. One ball and one strike.
You think she says park the car?
Probably does, but only when the Red Sox are playing. Now 2-1 to Pedroia. We're seeing more and more of these creative signs. Family divided.
Uh-oh.
Well, they look like they're holding up pretty well. Those divided loyalties. Those are not snapping at each other anymore. 3 balls and a strike. In 2003, the Red Sox went to the bottom of the first inning against the Marlins, and it took 50 minutes for them to bat. They scored 10 runs for a major league record before making an out. 3-2. Johnny Damon had a single, double, and a triple in that inning to tie a major league record with 3 hits in an inning. And they wound up scoring 14 runs in the first. They got 10 before anybody made an out. Line shot, foul.
Well, that's reminiscent of that game we had back when I was in uniform. You were up in the booth in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
When the Reds dropped 14 on us in the first inning. I think it was 14.
That is correct, sir.
And Jimmy Clancy started, then Forshee came in.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was not fun, but it was memorable.
I'm glad I didn't have this job then. How many times can you sit there? That was a good piece of hitting. Nice piece of hitting.
Well, you know, actually, now that you bring it up, and we've talked about this before, it wasn't like there were 3 or 4 3-run homers. It was just bouncing single after bouncing single after bouncing single.
Yeah, this one hole after another found in that infield.
It was just incredible to think that that many balls could find holes in one inning. Rip foul.
This kid's got a pretty good idea of what he's trying to do at the plate. Don't give it to the Red Sox fan.
Well, hopefully he'll get some more, because he is in a prime location. 88 pitches for Runelvis Hernandez so far. Cincinnati and Cleveland are scoreless in the bottom of the 5th at Cleveland. This liner heads for the left field foul pole, but hooks. And it's still 3-2 to Dustin Pedroia.
Pedroia reaching out and hitting that pitch hard to left field. Looks like he covers the outside part of the plate pretty well. This little splitter that drifted back to the middle. They've gone up, they've gone in, they've gone out. He's managed to stay alive.
This is the 10th pitch to him, and he fouls that one back. Ricky Gutierrez had that famous at bat in Cleveland against Bartolo Colon. What was it, 23 pitch?
20, yeah, something like that.
Cecil Cooper was remembering fondly before the game his days as a Red Sox player. And his good friend Jim Rice, who we understand is doing television work for the Red Sox, in the studio. Fly ball to right center for Hunter Pence. One out that took a long time for Runelvis Hernandez.
Yeah, you go into a series against the Red Sox or the Yankees, you want to make sure your bullpen is well rested. Because even if your starter's pitching well, he's likely going to run a pretty high pitch count. And for the most part tonight, Runelvis has pitched well.
J.D. Drew ripped a 3-run homer off him. There's ball 1 to Drew. Drew struck out in the first, and then on a 2-0 pitch, he hit it into the right field seats in the third. That was his 16th career homer against the Astros.
Yeah, that was pop-up compared to a couple of the bombs he's hit against the Astros.
Yeah, you're right. This fly ball heads for left. Carlos Lee back. 2 down. And it's Manny Ramirez next. And he's in the last year of his 8-year contract. 8 years, $160 million. But the Red Sox have a team option for 2009 and another one for 2010. $20 million each.
Jump change.
That's a no-brainer, picking up that option. There's ball 1. Manny 0 for 2 tonight. He wants to stay in Boston and retire there.
20 million here, 20 million there. Sooner or later, you're talking about real money.
46 interleague home runs. Jim Thome is the all-time leader.
$130+ million for their team payroll. 4th behind the Yankees, Mets, and Tigers.
About 3 weeks ago, Tigers fans didn't like to be reminded of that. Now they've perked up. Foul ball back. 2 balls and a strike to Manny Ramirez. He's 4th on the all-time slugging percentage list of the Red Sox, 5th in on-base average. And he's been there 7 years.
He first came up with Cleveland. He was a guy who could really hit the ball well the other way. A lot of his power was to right center. Stays inside the ball very well. And the book on him was to try to jam him. Obviously, he's learned to adjust to that.
.312 career hitter, 505 bombs. This one to right field. Hunter Pence over. Hernandez gets the Sox in order in the 5th inning, and it's 3-0 Boston after 4.5. It's no-hit John Lester and Brandon Backey tomorrow night, 5:30 for the pregame show. Astros live in high def on FSN Houston. Josh Beckett of Spring and Brian Moeller Sunday on My 20 at 1 o'clock. It's 3-0. The Red Sox lead it. Jeff Blum leading off in the home 5th inning. He went for the first pitch and popped the short in the 2nd. It's a slider, and it's strike 1 for Daisuke Matsuzaka. Giving up just 1 single, that by Lance Berkman in the first 4 innings. And he's needed only 55 pitches so far. Runelvis Hernandez has thrown 99. That was ripped foul. Chris Sampson has begun to warm up for the Astros. What's that all about, JD?
That's Lance Corporal Justin Rokel returning to the USA tonight. Welcome back.
That's a thrill.
And thank you for your service.
Special moment for him and his family. Absolutely. That's a great feeling to come back. See a ball game in the process. 1-2. Line shot. J.D. Drew backing on it and reaches that spot for the catch. 1 out on a ball that's really blistered by Jeff Blum.
Astros have hit 3 or 4 balls hard here tonight, but not many. Good swing here by Blum. Went down and got that low fastball. Prior to last night's ball game, the Astros had scored a total of 32 runs in their prior 11 ball games. Broke out last night, but not getting much done here tonight against Dice K.
Hunter Pence line back to the pitcher. There's strike one. On a foul tip. Alberto Quintero on deck. That one goes foul, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
I love Steve Campbell's story on Hunter Pence in the Chronicle a couple of days ago. And he said if Hunter Pence were a dog, his tail would always be wagging.
Yeah.
That was a great line.
That was. You should have seen him this afternoon. He was all over this building in the space of about 15 minutes. He just cannot sit. He was up in the press box for a radio show that he does. And then about 5 minutes after that, he was walking down the tunnel to the clubhouse. And about 5 minutes after that, he was running down the tunnel that leads to the field. Constant motion. That's close. It's ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quintero on deck.
Veritek may have cost Matsuzaka there. The way he caught that ball, kind of jabbed at it instead of cradling it.
And a foul ball by Hunter Pence. Keeps him in the count at 1-2. CC Sabathia is pitching well for the Indians. 1-0. They lead the Reds at Cleveland, top of the 6th inning. And Grady Sizemore hit his 18th homer. Bill Thompson, the starter for the Reds. It's 2-2. Cecil Cooper has talked about the at-bats for the Astros hitters in recent days, indicating that it's nice to have a long at-bat. He said, you know, the thing you don't want to do is get your pitcher in the dugout for just a brief period of time and send him right back out there again. He said, I'm not saying we need to walk a lot more, but have longer at-bats. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, there were some recent signs of that. They did a nice job last night with the 15 hits and 7 runs scored. And then the night before against Scott Feldman, they got him out of the game after 4 innings. He had a decent game going, but he had 99 pitches through 4 innings. This is the longest at bat of the night for an Astros, 7 pitches. Hunter Pence takes a walk. Second walk of the night for Matsuzaka. And walks had been a problem for him coming into this game. 41 in 65 innings.
Yeah, if you give him a chance, you know, he doesn't like to give in. He'd rather walk you than lay a fat one over the middle of the plate. He's always trying to make a pitcher's pitch. And that mentality with his stuff makes him awfully tough to hit. The batting average against him just .213, so you have to draw some walks if you're going to mount any kind of an attack against him on most nights.
Alberto Quintero grounded out to third. That bouncer goes foul, and it's strike 1.
Cardinals have activated Mark Mulder from the disabled list, and he's going to work out of their bullpen. He was 0-3 with a 13.5 ERA and 3 rehab starts for their AAA club in Memphis.
Yeah, that wouldn't inspire a whole lot of confidence to shove him into the starting rotation after numbers like that. Apparently he's tried a different arm slot during his rehab. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quintero last homered August 15th in 05. Fly ball near the right field line. Hunter Pence playing it halfway. It lands in front of J.D. Drew. Now gets away from him. Pence to second base. He wasn't sure what Drew was going to be able to do. Didn't want to get doubled off. It's a looping single for Quintero.
No, down 3 runs. You can't afford to make any mistakes on the bases. You have to play it safe. So Pence had to wait, make sure that ball dropped. Walk followed by this bloop base hit. The Astros have a little something going. Aaron Erstad's going to hit.
Drew dropped the ball, but by then Hunter Pence had stopped. Couldn't get it fired up again to get to third base. So Ronelvis Hernandez leads for the pinch hitter. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. He walked 3 and fanned 5, throwing 99 pitches. Leaving for the pinch hitter Erstad. Has a very fine batting average in interleague play. As a pinch hitter this season, .212, 1 homer, 4 runs batted in. He has 7 pinch hits. And that leads the Astros club. Big situation here is the Astros just have not had opportunities until now. They have 2 men on, and Michael Bourne will be next.
The fact that Cecil Cooper has called upon Darren Erstad this early in the ballgame gives you an idea how important he thinks it is.
Yep.
Because Erstad, the only left-handed bat on the bench.
Ronelvis Hernandez threw the ball well. Just that 3-run homer by J.D. Drew, the difference in this game. Erstad went 1 for 2 in the Rangers series. One ball, 1 strike to Darren. He came up with a pinch single in the 7th inning Wednesday night.
Matsuzaka very effective with that slider. You know, whether he's backdooring it for a called strike or running it in under the hands of a left-handed hitter, he gets some swings and misses with it.
1-2.
It's really it's the same pitch, and he throws about 3 different varieties of it. That one there, just a hard cut fastball, and then he'll throw it a little softer with a little more tilt, and then an even bigger one. He'll kind of cast to the back door against a left-handed hitter.
Pence and Quintero are the base runners with 1 out in the inning. Erstad takes, and it's 2-2 for Darren. Tim Wakefield and the Red Sox relievers pitched a shutout Wednesday night. They had the day off yesterday. Well, their bullpen is in very good shape for this game tonight. Erstad fouls it. Red Sox starting pitchers have collaborated for a 36-20 record, a 3.81 ERA.
I was looking at the team stats today. 5 of the top 7 ERAs in Major League Baseball are American League clubs.
Yeah, offense is really down this year in the American League because of that. Tapper goes foul. In fact, as of right now, there's nobody on a pace to hit 50 homers in the major leagues this year. And that would be the first time in a few years there has not been a 50 home run hitter. And on the other hand, there are several pitchers on a pace to be 20 game winners, and that's been rare in recent years. Terry Francona's club with the 5th best ERA in the American League, 3.81. Last 4 games, 2.03 for the Red Sox. Erstad strikes out. Number 4 for Matsuzaka. 2 outs, and it's Michael Bourne batting.
There's that backdoor slider. Or maybe it was the gyro ball. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Whatever it was very effective. Erstad retired. Now Michael Bourne, he has struck out and advanced into a force play.
Frustrated for Cecil Cooper too, firing that bullet here and not getting anything out of it. It's a tough job, boy, coming in to face a guy like this.
Bourne looks at ball one. Eddie Bonine and Detroit down Colorado 7-1. Rockies have lost 6 of 7 now, while the Tigers have come on. They beat Ubaldo Jimenez. He's 2-8 this season.
Eddie Bonine, huh?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with him.
Nope. He just joined them. Hasn't made many starts. He's 2-0 with a 3.98 ERA, though. And as you know, Dontrell Willis is at A-ball trying to find himself after signing that 3-year contract extension. Michael looks at ball two. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. He was talking about that feeling of panic on those 2 fly balls he lost in the roof at Tropicana Field on Sunday. He said, all I could do is just try to stay calm, keep looking up there. And finally, I located the ball. Now 3-1 for Michael Bourne.
This situation here with your Michael Bourne, you're looking for a fastball in one spot, and if you get it, go ahead and take a good rip at it. You're not thinking about drawing a walk here. You want to try to drive in a couple of runs, hit one in the alley.
3-2.
Kind of a passive swing.
Yeah, that was 94 miles per hour.
He was just looking for something he could turn on, and then the ball drifted out away from him.
3-2, 2 outs. The runners will be moving. Pence and Quintero take off. And it's ball 4 to load the sacks for David Newhand. 3rd walk for Matsuzaka.
This is where the frustration is for the Red Sox with Matsuzaka with that great stuff. He's got a 3-0 lead and a little tentative in this inning.
Two World Series titles with the Sox for Terry Francona. 5th year as a manager. He's signed a contract extension. He's all sewed up for the next few years. David Newhand 0 for 2, a strikeout, and he bounced into a 6-3 play to end the 3rd inning.
Big night last night.
Here's ball 1. We're often wrong about little feelings and sensations we get during the course of ball games, but it just hits me right now. This is the inning the Astros have to do something if they're going to win this ball game. That could be entirely wrong. But John Farrell is coming out.
Make a little mark on our scorebook. Brownie's key at bat right here. David Newhand.
Well, John Farrell finds it necessary to visit the mound right now. And let's go to Bart.
All right, Bill. Well, for low fares with no extra fees, the only choice is still Southwest Airlines. Tonight's feature destination is Phoenix, Arizona. Go to southwest.com/FSN for a chance to win some tickets. And if you win, take a parka, because Phoenix is kind of chilly this time of year.
Yeah, I think it's only 116.
Yeah.
I'm not sure those skis are in good shape when you head for Phoenix.
Look what I can do.
Greg Hansen is warming up. Oh, what is that?
I have no idea. It's just on the telestrator here.
Oh.
It's
You're putting a hex on.
Yeah, it's a little whammy.
Okay. Greg Hansen's warming up in case that whammy works. David Newhand with a 1-0 pitch coming. 1-1. It's all right to take that one. That's a tough pitch. Atlanta shut out Toronto 4-0 in Toronto. David Newhand usually makes some pretty good contact in a situation like this. Jair Jurgens pitched a career high 8 innings in that shutout. Oh, that pitch had movement. Pops it up. Lugo in, giving way. Now Lugo will catch it. And in the 5th inning, Daisuke escapes further trouble. No runs, 1 hit, 3 men stranded after 5. 3-0 Red Sox. Big round of applause is for Kiss Cam here inside the ballpark. See what brought on that exact round of applause.
It was an elderly couple.
Okay.
That kissed, and everybody got excited for that.
Chris Sampson's in the game. 3-0 Boston. He's 3-3 with a 5.29 ERA.
But much better since moving to the bullpen. 2 scoreless on Wednesday. They're kind of carving a nice niche for himself out there in the pen. Astros still near the top of their order, so Sampson an opportunity to work a couple innings, keep the Red Sox at bay, and give the Astros a chance to get back and win this ball game. That's the mission.
Mike Lowell, the first man to face Chris Sampson. He struck out and grounded out to shortstop. Lowell puts it in the air on the right side of the infield. Newhan and Berkman, and Newhan calls him off. 1 pitch went out for Sampson. Kevin Youkilis rolled an infield hit to 3rd in the 2nd inning, and he doubled off the left field wall in the 4th. Red Sox are 15-8 in June, matching Detroit for the 3rd best record in the majors this month. There's strike 1. The Astros are 7-15 in the month of June. Inside. That makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Braves, with their 4-0 win at Toronto, are now a game under 500. Mark Teixeira hit his 15th homer. Jurgens, the winner, goes to 8-3, and Mike Gonzalez got his 3rd save. He stepped into that closer's role, returning from his injury. 1-2 to Youkilis. Astros and Braves will be getting together in early July. Jason Varitek is on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Youkilis. He came back to Cincinnati and had a big interleague series. And he went to the University of Cincinnati. He was born in that city. Ground ball, and to his left, Jeff Blum takes care of out number 2. With Sampson setting a nice pace in relief here. Jason Varitek has walked both times tonight. Varitek went to Georgia Tech. He had 322 consecutive errorless chances to start the season before making a throwing error. Here's ball 1. And Youkilis at first base went 238 games between errors.
Yeah, pretty good defensive club. Lugo at shortstop's made 16 errors. He's been the biggest problem. Of course, more chances at short, but nonetheless, it's still a pretty big number.
That's a big number, and no other major league shortstop has that many. 2 balls, no strikes to Varitek.
Astros drafted him out of high school. So they offered him more money.
Berkman to Sampson. Sampson gets the Red Sox in order in the 6th inning, and it's still 3-0 Red Sox. J.D. Drew homer. Welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning. Time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Elvis Hernandez making his first start as an Astro tonight. He hit that spot several times and struck out 5 in 5 innings. That's our Coors Light Freeze Cam. Elvis Hernandez.
Freeze the cheese at the knees. Please.
Now the Red Sox have gone to their bullpen for Craig Hansen, JD.
He can give you a little of that cheese. Strikeout pitcher. He's got 19 of those in 22 innings. 1-2 with a 4.91 ERA. He was their first round pick out of St. John's University in 2005.
Last year he pitched at Pawtucket. Struck out 48 in 51 innings. And since he came back from the minor leagues, he's pitched 3 1/3 scoreless innings his last 3 games. He was recalled actually May 5th, so that's been his most recent work. And his first major league save June 14th at Cincinnati. And it's Tejada, Berkman, and Lee facing Craig Hansen in the 6th inning. Miguel is struck out and grounded to second. There's strike one to Tejada. Daisuke Matsuzaka in 5 innings allowed 2 hits, no runs. He walked 3 and fanned 4. Struck out the side in the 1st inning tonight.
That's a short arm delivery right there.
Yes, it is.
Throws like a catcher, which has to make it awfully difficult to pick up. Some pitchers will give a hitter a good long look at it. Other guys hide the ball quite well, and I'm guessing they have a hard time seeing it in Hansen.
Yep. And he goes to the bigger breaking ball and strikes out Tejada. 1 out in the 6th inning.
This guy, he graduated from Glen Cove High School. He was 8-0 his senior year in high school with an ERA of 0. That's 0 as in nada. 3 saves in 69 innings. He was not drafted, and he had offers from St. John's and Hofstra and some junior colleges and D3 schools. Somebody was not doing their homework.
Wow. Not drafted. Lance Berkman is 1 for 2. Backhanded Mike Lowell. 2 outs. Now it's Carlos Lee. Good play by Lowell. He has been an outstanding third baseman for many years. The Astros' upcoming schedules brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group, showing you tomorrow night's game and an earlier start time of 6:05, customarily on Saturday nights. Then Sunday 1 o'clock, Dodgers in for 4. Road trip to Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Washington. Ball 1 to Carlos Lee. Set a warning track fly ball to center and lined out to right. Jeff Plum's on deck. The Astros have been held to 2 hits, both singles. Berkman in the 2nd, Quintero in the 5th. Matsuzaka in line to be a 9-game winner. 2 balls and no strikes. The Rays lead the Pirates 10-5 after 8 in Pittsburgh.
Well, Matsuzaka was hitting 94, 95, pretty much sitting at 93 with his fastball most of the night. Now this guy comes in throwing 94 to 96, and when he throws at 94, it's got real good sinking action. And then you got to deal with Papelbon at the end, who's rushing it up there in high 90s. There's that short arm delivery you're talking about. Kind of takes it back behind his ear and lets it fly.
Right fielder J.D. Drew measures it for the 3rd out. In the 6th inning, Hansen faces only 3, and it's 3-0 Boston. That hot cheese, very delectable tonight. Manny Del Carmen is unable to enjoy those at the moment. He's warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. And now the Red Sox come up against Chris Sampson in the 7th inning with Julio Lugo to lead it off. Sean Casey is in the on-deck circle, preparing a pinch hit for Craig Hansen. Lugo looks at strike one. Lugo 0 for 2 tonight. Double play ball in the second inning, and then with 2 men on again in the fourth inning, he popped a short. Red Sox are hitting .264 as a team with men in scoring position, but only .218 in the last 27 games. Loop to right field for a hit for Lugo, and leading off the inning, he is able to reach. That's hit number 6, and he can run with 10 steals in 13 tries. It's going to be Sean Casey now, pinch hitting for Craig Hansen. There's Kevin Eschenfelder in the Landry's Crawford boxes. We'll be going to him very soon. Craig Hansen had a 1-2-3 6th inning with a strikeout. And now Casey, who's just back from serving his 3-game suspension. 365 for Sean. No homers, 8 runs batted in. He's had 104 at bats. He has more walks than strikeouts. A .416 on base average. As a pinch hitter, Sean is 1 for 6.
Well, if he hits it on the ground, he's a pretty easy double play. I think Lugo will be looking for a pitch to run on here.
They appeal at third base. He went. Now Paul Nauert.
Paul ringing everybody up.
Sean Casey threw his head back. And it's strike one call. He's a .308 career hitter against Houston.
Sean, he's not going to make eye contact with the teacher.
Fly ball. Carlos Lee over near the left field line. And he has room for that play for out number 1. The paid attendance tonight, a sellout, 42,327. Coco Crisp is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Scott Kazmir started tonight for Tampa Bay in 5 innings. He gave up 3 earned runs. Lugo draws a throw. Red Sox have played without David Ortiz all month with that 15-8 record with Big Papi sideline. Sampson really threw that one hard. Berkman dropped it. Trying to keep the double play in order. Quintero out to talk with Chris now. Red Sox swept the Astros at Fenway Park in a 3-game series in the 03 season. Chris,
yeah, he thought Quintero was going to take a shot down there at Lugo, and he didn't want to take it in the back of the head.
He ducked.
An inside pitch to a lefty. That's when Q's looking to make a throw. That's one you don't want to take for the team.
No. Grounded foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Coco Crisp. The Red Sox won the first game of that series in Boston from Houston in June of 03, 4-3. Then they won 8-4. And in the third game, they took that one in 14 innings. Tim Burdack and Oscar Villarreal are warming up for Houston. 5 years ago, and a lot of the names, of course, have changed, but Jeff Blum hit a homer in one of the games of that series off Red Sox starter Derek Lowe. Lugo looks over at his first base coach. He's drawing a lot of attention. Luis Alicea, the coach there. Grounded foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Josh Beckett who goes to the mound here Sunday against the Astros, is 9-3 in interleague play, has one of the best interleague winning percentages. And he is a tough pitcher to face right now. Beckett will be going to the mound with a record of 7-5, a 3.73 ERA. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And he's pitched here before as a Marlin, but coming back home, he'll be jacked up. Now, whether that works for him or against him, it remains to be seen.
He'll be facing the Astros for the first time since '04, when he beat them twice that year. And his career ERA against Houston is 2.12.
I assume he's pitched here.
Yeah,
I know he's pitched against us.
He's 1-1 at Minute Maid Park with a 2.92 ERA in his career. We just saw Josh Hamilton. He was drafted 1 slot ahead of Josh Beckett in that '99 draft. Kind of makes you wonder if things had changed. Maybe the Rangers would have a decent pitching staff. Or the Rays actually drafted Hamilton, but they might have been advanced further than they have been. Because now they do have a good pitching staff. Bounce slowly. New hand to first, and he got him. Out number 2. Lugo to second base. His new hand came in toward the third base line and threw across his body.
And nice play by David Newhand on the move. Good concentration. Because if you stop to think, should I try to make a play on Lugo, you're not going to get crisp. So you cannot even consider Lugo. Just unload in a hurry and get crisp hustling down that first base line. Jerry Crawford punching him out.
Yep. He sold the call. Now Dustin Pedroia is 2 for 3, a single and a double tonight. J.D. Drew's on deck. Pedroia looks at strike 1.
Talking earlier about Pedroia and making that list of people who early last year said he couldn't play, that he hung on to as motivation. There's another good story about him.
Up the middle into center field. Lugo around third, coming home. Michael Bourne fires to the plate, cut off, and it's 4-0. Pedroia with his 3rd hit of the night picks up RBI number 35.
And a big one there with 2 outs. Anyway, the Pedroia story, he was at a card show. Some kind of an event where he was signing, and he was hitting about $130 at the time, and he was getting hammered all over town in the newspaper and talk radio. And some guy came up to him with a ball, and he said, "I want you to sign this ball and put ROY on it," which is short for Rookie of the Year. And Pedroia said, "Come on, man." He goes, "No, I believe in you." And he saw the guy later in the summer when he'd gotten things going, and his wife was at the same thing. He said, "This is the guy, honey. This is the guy that believed in me."
So you remembered him too. Pitching change. Cecil J.D. Drew with a 3-run homer. Now an RBI single by Dustin Pedroia, accounting for the Boston scoring. It's 4-0 Red Sox. Tim Burdack takes the ball to face Drew. Drew is 1 for 3. Burdack to the throw over to first. Drives back Pedroia.
Burdack has not been out there in a while, not since the Baltimore series. He's 2-0 with a 1.96 ERA for 25 appearances.
Here's ball 1 to Drew. Burdack in that last appearance at Baltimore last Thursday gave up 1 run in 2 innings.
Drew hanging in there pretty well against Southpaws.
Two balls, no strikes. Manny Ramirez on deck. Lefty's hitting 184 against Burdack as he tries to come back from 2-0 to get Drew. Now 3 balls, no strikes.
A tough assignment here for Tim, who struggles with his control to begin with. And then to have as much time off as he's had, it's tough to come out and be sharp.
4-pitch walk. Drew on. Pedroia to second for Manny Ramirez now.
Yeah, so that means it's going to be time for a new pitcher.
And that move is being made as Cecil Cooper comes out toward the home plate umpire. Looks like a double switch type of move. Tom Hallion coming over to hear about it. Pitcher due up fourth in the bottom of the 7th inning, and we'll recap what's happened for you when we come back with a score. Boston 4, Houston nothing.
Nothing. They are making a pitching change. You want to make sure you bring the family out next Thursday afternoon when the Astros take on the Dodgers at 1:05. There's a lot going on for that game. Here we go. The first 10,000 fans will get a player's silhouette visor. First 40,000 fans will receive a mini U.S. flag. It's also Dollar Hot Dog Day. And there's a free post-game concert with Max Stalling. But here's the kicker. After the game, it's jerseys off the back. Lucky fans will be chosen at random to win a game-worn, autographed, stinky, smelly, wonderful jersey. For tickets and more information, go to Astros.com.
Nice.
Mark Loretta comes in to play second base. He's batting ninth. Oscar Villarreal in the number 2 spot. David Newhand coming out of the game. Villarreal 1-3 with a 4.84 ERA.
Oscar worked an inning last night. A couple hits and a run. He came in to work the 9th.
Manny Ramirez backs away. Time called. He's 0 for 3. Pedroia at second and Drew at first with 2 outs in the inning. 1 run in. Villarreal misses and it's ball 1. Astros bullpen has a 4.27 ERA for the season. 33rd appearance for Oscar. And there's a good play by Quintero. And a pitch that bounced well in front of the plate. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, it's a little scary here. 2 balls, no strikes to Manny Ramirez. Oscar's really struggled giving up home runs this year, but not as much lately. And Manny's been in a bit of a funk the last 10 days or so. But you better make a pitch here.
Sidearm line shot. Carlos Lee catches it. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left at 7th inning stretch time. The Red Sox lead the Astros 4-0. Now for more on your Houston Astros, let's send it live to Kevin Eschenfelder in the Crawford boxes. Houston leads Houston, and we have a double switch being made by Terry Francona. New left fielder is Jacoby Ellsbury. He takes over for Manny Ramirez, who was 0 for 4 in the game. And he's had some hamstring issues. On the mound, it's Manny Del Carmen. He goes into the 4th spot in the order. He's 0-1 with a 3.38 ERA.
And another guy can rush it up there, averaging about a strikeout an inning. Good changeup, too.
Jeff Plum gets a heater, and there's strike 1 call.
Everybody throw 95 in that club?
Seems like it. Plum clocked a line drive. It was caught by J.D. Drew in the 5th inning. He's 0 for 2. And there's the off-speed pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. Del Carmen has worked 12 2/3 scoreless innings. And the Sox relievers with no runs in their last 11 innings. One ball and 2 strikes. Hansen with a 1-2-3 6th inning had a strikeout. Chris Sampson in 1 2/3. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run for Houston. Tim Burdack walked the only man he faced.
Mike Timlin, who's been so reliable over the years for the Red Sox in the bullpen, is on the disabled list. He's having a bad year anyway, an ERA over 7.
2-2 Firestone in-game box score shows you the Astros have managed only 2 hits tonight, both singles. Matsuzaka, Hansen. Now Del Carmen doing the pitching for the Red Sox. And And they twirled a shutout in their last game. They've pitched 8 shutouts this year. They're tied for the major league lead in that department. Blum takes ball 3, and it's 3-2. Del Carmen was a second-round draft choice in 2000 by the Sox, and he's a native of Boston. This is his 4th consecutive year. He spent at least some time in the big leagues, but more and more as he went along. That rolls foul. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jonathan Papelbon is 3rd in the American League in saves. He has 23 saves already. Whipped on a line. That's a foul ball. Still 3-2. Jeff Blum continuing to battle here.
Now, Blum's had some pretty good swings. Hit the ball hard last time up. This guy, his dad pitched a little bit in the Philly farm system. Manny Kooky Del Carmen. K-U-K-I.
Really?
Yeah.
Lined up the line, and it hooks foul. Oh, he's had some excellent swings, but
Hey, straighten it out.
Yeah, he's pulling it.
That's what they do at Little League, the moms and dads. Hey, straighten it out.
Iron it. Tremendous range by that.
Yeah, did you see him work his way down?
Yeah.
Making sure not to stop on anybody. Didn't panic, just took his time, got into a nice fielding position.
A polite yet rangy move by the left-hander.
And not over-celebrating either. He's been there before.
Another one just foul. And again hit sharply by Jeff Blum. He deserves a hit for this at bat. Del Carmen's 12 2/3 consecutive scoreless inning streak is the longest by a Red Sox reliever this year. Tenth pitch coming to Jeff Blum. That's to right field. J.D. Drew checking the wall. He has room just in front of the track. Del Carmen gets out number 1. Has to work pretty hard to get Blum.
Yeah, it's a tough AB there for Jeff. Hit the ball hard foul 2 or 3 times and then just missed that one. Of course, Del Carmen would say, well, that's my job, is to get him to just miss.
One down in the Astros 7th. Hunter Pence is the batter. Line back to the pitcher, and he walked. Marlins beat Arizona 3-1. There's strike 1 to Hunter. Cody Ross hit a home run. Ricky Nolasco is now an 8-game winner. He struck out 9 in 8 innings.
That entire Marlin team is going to be double digits in home runs.
No balls, 2 strikes. Arizona is now back to 500, 40-40, while Florida's 41-38. The White Sox ripped the Cubs today. Lugo goes high, but in time. 2 outs. Youkilis with the stretch.
And better not lay back too much, Julio. Pence is going to beat you. This is awfully close. Wow, I could have gone either way.
Really close. For Jerry Crawford, yeah. Hunter thought he was safe. Looks like really about as close as you can get.
Inarguable.
Quintero, strike 1. On the curve from Del Carmen.
I think that helps to explain the discrepancy when you talk about the 2 leagues. And I'm not even looking at the standings and who's done what in interleague play, but just in terms of the talent level, I think Everybody, I know I did, expected the National League West to be a lot better than it's been this year.
Yeah.
You know, I thought the Diamondbacks would be really good. I thought the Dodgers would be a good club. Colorado, of course, the defending National League champions, so you assume they were going to be pretty good. And the Padres with their pitching seemed like they'd be able to hang in there, but that whole division has been pretty weak.
Surprisingly so. We played Arizona and thought it was about the best team we had seen at that point. Quintero strikes out, and after 7 innings, Boston leads Houston 4-0.
Astros 4-0. We want to give you the final results of tonight's poll question. Which Boston team are you most tired of hearing about? The big winners, the New England Patriots, 58%. Red Sox came in second with 24%. Celtics 13%. And the Revolution with a paltry 4%. Really hard to hate them very much when our own Dynamo slapped them around in the playoffs. We'll have a new poll question for you tomorrow. Thanks to everybody for voting. Brownie?
Thank you, Bart. Mike Lowell just took ball 1. He is 0 for 3 in this game. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Red Sox.
It's hard to hate a team when you can't name a single player.
Yeah. And it's really difficult when you don't even know what sport they play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Euclid on deck. Veritek due up third against Oscar Villarreal. Popped up. Tejada looks out to Michael Bourne. 1 down. The Astros will have Loretta, Bourne, and the pitcher's spot due up. In the bottom of this inning, they've been held to just 2 singles through 7 and 3 walks. Kevin Youkilis has a couple of hits. One of those a double tonight. Hideki Okajima, the left-hander, is warming up. A strike 1. He's one of 2 lefties in the Red Sox bullpen. Javier Lopez is the other.
When you watch Youkilis hit, it's hard to believe he's the guy that was nicknamed the Greek god of walks because of his patience. That was in Moneyball.
Oh, was it?
The book about Billy Beane, yeah. I think he was the guy that they passed up when they drafted. Was it Bonderman? I don't remember. Billy Beane was very upset because Youkilis was a very patient hitter. Maybe I've got this turned around, but anyway, that was his nickname.
Okay, Greek god of walks.
Yeah, but he does draw a lot of walks. But you look at his mannerisms in the box, he just looks like a hacker. I mean, he just looks like he's up there ready to slash and burn. He splits the grip, and then he slides that hand down as he gets into a hitting position. At the end of the day, all these guys with funky swings, the ones that are successful, they all get into a fairly conventional position before they swing the bat.
Line drive center field. It works for him. It works quite well for him. That's his 3rd hit of the game.
Perhaps you've noticed the Chick-fil-A foul poles. Anytime an Astro player hits one of the Chick-fil-A foul poles, fans from the game can take their ticket stub to any Greater Houston area Chick-fil-A for a free chicken sandwich.
Jason Veritek studying the signs from his third base coach. Veritek has walked twice and grounded out. Texas leads Philadelphia 7-6, bottom of the 7th inning. At Arlington, there's strike 1. Milton Bradley now is added to the home runs JD told us about earlier with his 16th of the year. Washington down Baltimore 4-2. Hunter Pence over deep into the right field corner. Ball hanging a long time but going out of his reach. He's tried to climb that wall several times this year.
The big guy in the red shirt, though, I think with even a little bit better effort.
Yeah. Tried to trap it down low and smother it. There are different techniques.
Hunter knew he couldn't get to that ball. He just wanted to climb the wall. I bet he climbed trees when he was a kid.
Oh, you know that. Tap foul. And Veritek remains at the plate with an 0-2 count. John Roush got his 16th save in that Washington win over Baltimore. Daniel Cabrera handed the loss. He's 5-4. Kansas City looking good against St. Louis in Kansas City. 7-2 Royals. Bottom of the 8th inning. Alex Gordon hit his 10th. Troy Gloss number 11 for the Redbirds.
The last Red Sox to be a team captain prior to Jason Veritek was Jim Rice. And before that, Carly Yastrzemski. Fairly rare what the Yankees and the Red Sox, the only two clubs I know of that have ever designated a captain. Except for Milo.
Yeah, that's true. Bouncer goes foul.
Astros ever had a captain?
Not that I can tell you.
And maybe back in the day.
There's the captain, Milo Hamilton on the left.
If I have a telestrator, I'd give him a little C.
Dave Raymond on the right. Now, Dave has been rather disappointing in failing to procure the signature of Stanford catcher Jason Castro on an Astros contract. We thought he was in charge of that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Line to right field, a hit in front of Hunter Pence. And Veritek advances Youkilis to second. Back-to-back singles with 1 out here in the 8th inning. 9 hits for the Red Sox. The captain comes through. He reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. Julio Lugo singled and scored in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3. Yankees lead the Mets 9-0 at Shea in game 2 of that doubleheader. There's strike 1.
Perhaps you're wondering, what does a captain do on a baseball team? And as far as I know, they don't do anything. It's just a kind of an honorary designation to say we really respect this guy. We like the way he plays the game. We want other players to kind of follow his lead, his approach.
One ball and 1 strike.
He decides whether they're going to kick off or receive.
Sidearm delivery brings ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Oscar drops down from time to time on right-handed batters.
I was contemplating that delivery of Matsuzaka with that hesitation at the top. More pitchers ought to try that.
Do you?
Yeah, because so many pitchers throw with the same cadence and rhythm. You know, why not change it up a little bit?
Bourne in right center makes that catch. Youkilis went back to tag, but holding on out number 2. Now Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury in the 9 spot, batting for the first time tonight. He's played a lot this year. 255 at bats for Ellsbury. Ellsbury, a good defender with excellent speed. They're talking him over.
Hitting .275. He's got 34 stolen bases, so he's certainly a candidate for the Rookie of the Year award.
He scored 53 runs. Has a .388 on base average.
Coco Crisp starts serving his suspension tomorrow, so I'm going to figure Ellsbury will be out there. It could be a little short, you know, if Manny's hammy were to act up.
Yeah. Ball 1 to Ellsbury. It was a first-round pick in 2005. 24 years old from Madras, Oregon. He's a Native American of Navajo descent. He had 3 stints with the big club last year. Line drive. Carlos Lee moving left for the grab. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left for the Sox in the top of the 8th inning. Boston leads Houston 4-0.
Voting for the 2008 Major League Baseball All-Star Game continues. Vote early, vote often. At Astros.com, you can vote up to 25 times online. And you're running out of days, so if you haven't voted yet, jump on. Lance will be there.
Oh, yeah.
He's leading the pack at first base. He may be the only Astros All-Star this year.
Oh, it's looking right now. It's going to be tough. Tejada's been overtaken at shortstop by Hanley Ramirez, but still is close. A few days left to vote. There's where they rank right now. Matsui's injury not helping him any at all. And Carlos Lee is 5th in the outfield. Hideki Okajima is pitcher number 4 for the Red Sox with a 1-2 record and an ERA of 3.
He also has a strikeout per inning pitched. He was huge for them last year.
Yes, he was.
Does he throw 97 too?
No.
Good.
That's the only guy who doesn't in their bullpen, isn't it? Javier Lopez may not.
A little funky something he just flipped up there. Fastball, splitter, curveball for Okajima.
Faces Loretta, the former Red Sox All-Star second baseman. It's a 1-1 count. Okajima has fallen on hard times lately, giving up 11 hits and 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings. His ERA has jumped from 0.72 to 3. Looped into shallow right center. Crisp takes care of out number 1. That's 8 straight Astros set down by the bullpen. Started with the final out for Matsuzaka. Michael Bourne is 0 for 2 with a walk. Minnesota leads Milwaukee 7-6. They're in the top of the 9th. That Minnesota.
Twinkies have been on quite a roll here lately.
Yes, they have fired it up big time.
9 in a row coming into play tonight.
They're a half game behind the White Sox before today's games. Detroit's 5 behind prior to today's games. Lowell in tight at third. Pitch from Okajima is a ball. Some think that the league or leagues have adjusted to Okajima since last year. He spent 12 years in Japan. As JD mentioned, had a very successful season last year for Boston. 1-2. Ty Wigginton's on deck with a pitcher spot due up next for Houston. Lefty Wesley Wright is working in the Astros bullpen. Okajima's 32. Bourne with a fly ball to left, backs up Ellsbury to the track for the second out.
Story of the game so far. Solid effort from Daisuke Matsuzaka. Struck out the side in the first inning. End up with 4 strikeouts. JD Drew with a big 3-run home run. Real difference maker in this game off of Runelvis Hernandez, who pitched pretty well in his first start for the Astros. First time on the big league mound since September of 2006. The Astros not able to get anything going at all against Matsuzaka and this Red Sox bullpen.
Now the pinch hitter will be Reggie Abercrombie, batting for Oscar Villarreal, who in 1 1/3 innings allowed 2 hits, no runs, had no walks, no strikeouts. Abercrombie 2 for 9 as an Astro, and he is 0 for 1 and a pinch hitting assignment. Abercrombie looks at ball 1 with Miguel Tejada on deck. Reggie hit .288 for Round Rock before he got a chance to join the Astros. Had a tough assignment on Sunday, punching out 3 times against Scott Kazmir at Tampa Bay.
That's a funky delivery Okajima's got. Watch how violently he snaps his head. He kind of jumps at the hitter and then comes with that off-speed pitch.
That's right, and he takes his eyes off the target when he does that. 2 balls and a strike, so you would presume some control problems if a pitcher doesn't keep his eyes on that target when he delivers. Two balls and 2 strikes. That is not a delivery you see very often.
Watch his head. It'd be a little disconcerting if you're the hitter. Hey, watch where you're throwing that thing, would you?
Abercrombie taps it. Foul. Barely stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. San Francisco 1, Oakland nothing. Bottom of the 3rd at Oakland. Seattle and San Diego are scoreless. They're in the bottom of the 3rd at San Diego. Angels and Dodgers no score first.
A lot of pitchers will look away from the target. They'll start on the target, then they'll look away, and as they're delivering, they'll pick it back up because it's hard to stay on it the whole time. But what he's doing is a little bit ordinary.
High to left field. Reggie Abercrombie breaks up a shutout bid. Bangs one off the rails. Abercrombie goes deep with a pinch homer. That's the Astros' 3rd pinch homer of the season, and they're on the board trailing 4-1. With some lightning in his bat. He had almost struck out. Barely tapped one foul. Earned himself another swing and did a lot with it.
Now, Reggie has tremendous power. You watch him take batting practice, and he can put on a heck of a show. And his problem has been that he swings and misses too much, but he did not miss this one. He got extended and threw that ball, and up onto the train track she goes.
Now Tejada, he takes a strike. That got the crowd going. Only hit number 3, but that was certainly by far the most impressive one. 2 singles for the other 2. Now Tejada hits a line shot to the left field corner, bangs it off the wall. Ellsbury plays it. Tejada will be held to a single by that excellent play, and he would have been out at second easily. Well, a good move for Tejada to check up at first base because Ellsbury was all over that one.
Yeah, he can't afford to take any chances on the bases this late in the ball game, down 3 runs. 2 real good swings now off Okajima. Action in the Red Sox bullpen. I'm guessing Papelbon.
Terry Francona comes out with a double switch in mind. Julio Lugo's running over. He made the next to last out. The Alex Cora going in at shortstop. And it looks like Papelbon for a 4-out save opportunity. Score: Boston 4, Houston 1. Back in a moment. And they have gotten on the board with a pinch homer by Abercrombie. Now Tejada has followed with a single off Okajima.
Reggie Abercrombie picked on a changeup, a little bit of a hanger, ended up on the train tracks. And Tejada picked on a high fastball, whacked it off the scoreboard. Terry Francona saw enough of that and gone to his man, Jonathan Papelbon.
Papelbon, pitcher number 5 of the night for the Red Sox, will be facing Lance Berkman. There is a new shortstop in the game as well. Alex Cora at shortstop, replacing Julio Lugo. Cora batting 4th, and Papelbon in the 8th spot. Papelbon with 23 saves in 27 opportunities, 3 wins and 2 losses.
And what really jumps out at you is the 6 walks against 46 strikeouts in 34 2/3 innings. You look at those numbers, you kind of scratch your head and say, well, how has he managed to blow 4 saves?
Yeah.
197 batting average against. High octane fastball, nasty split finger pitch. And a pretty good slider, too.
Francisco Rodriguez is the save leader in the majors with 31. George Sherrill has 26. Papelbon with 23 is third. And he faces Lance Berkman. 1 for 3, a single in the second inning. Papelbon was an all-star last year. He wound up with 37 saves. And he had 3 more saves in the World Series, 1 in the League Championship Series. Carlos Lee's on deck. That's ball 1 inside. Papelbon got his most recent save Wednesday night in the shutout win over Arizona, working 1/3 of an inning, and he got a strikeout. Fouled, and it's 1-1 to Berkman. Papelbon with those 46 strikeouts is second in the American League in relief strikeouts. Berkman fouls it, and it's 1-2.
Tough to do a lot with that high fastball. Plus that four-seamer up there at 95. It's tough to get on top of that ball. A lot of foul balls and swings and misses with it. It's a power pitcher delivery that he features.
Papelbon's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 4th-round draft choice of the Sox in 03. Went to Mississippi State. His mother played softball at LSU. Berkman on the wicket split is able to foul it. 90-mile-per-hour pitch.
Yeah, that's a strikeout pitch right there. Lance doing a nice job to get a piece and stay alive. That's what you're up against when you face Papelbon. Kind of like Lidge with the 97-mile-an-hour fastball and then that hard slider.
Two and two. Papelbon got that ball for closing out the World Series. They got away from him. His dog got it. He gets a strikeout to end the Astros' 8th inning. 1 run, 2 hits, and a man left. Reggie Abercrombie gets the Astros on the board with a pinch home run, and it's 4-1. Boston after 8. We move to the 9th inning now, and it's Wesley Wright, pitcher number 5 for the Astros, coming in with the top of the order due up. He's 3-2 with a 4.85 ERA.
Or Tuesday night, 2/3 scoreless. And doing a real nice job neutralizing the left-handed hitters. You see just a .186 batting average against him. You see one of those this inning, J.D. Drew. Turns the switch hitter Crisp around to the right side.
Crisp 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Strike for Wesley Wright. The Red Sox got a 3-run homer in the 3rd from J.D. Drew. That rally started with 1 out with Crisp drawing a walk. Pedroia doubled. Blum's even with the bag at 3rd. Broken bat into right center field. A looping single for Crisp. Red Sox are in double figures in hits tonight with 10. Crisp won't be able to swing a bat in a game for 5 days. He's serving that suspension. Collects this 9th inning single, and it's Pedroia batting. Pedroia is 3 for 4 with an RBI. Hideki Okajima went 2/3 of an inning, allowing 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, no strikeouts. There's ball 1 for Wright. Last 3 outings for Wesley have produced scoreless baseball. 1 in Baltimore, 1 in Tampa Bay, and 1 JD talked about Tuesday night against the Rangers. He retired Milton Bradley with a 2-1 lead in that game in the 7th inning. Kevin Gregg got his 14th save for the Fish in Florida's 3-1 win over Arizona. Micah Owings was the loser. He's 6-7 now.
As fans in New York with the opportunity to watch that Subway split doubleheader, first game at Yankee Stadium today and then the night game at Shea. Hasn't really been entertaining baseball. The Mets blowing out the Yankees 15-6 this afternoon. Now the Yankees with a 9-0 lead over the Metropolitans.
4-pitch walk for Pedroia. 2 on, nobody out for Drew. Dewey Robinson out to the mound. The Astros 5-10 against the American League, and this segment of interleague play, and the final one ends on Sunday. Then it's back to National League play against the Dodgers, who come in to play 4.
Jeff Geary hasn't been pitching much, has he?
No, he is not.
Something going on there?
Not
The
sure
groin
about that.
barking a little bit, or
not aware of it. But it's a good point to bring up before tomorrow's game. J.D. Drew, 3-run homer, 1 for 3 with a walk.
triple plays in order.
Alex Cora's on deck. And Drew's swinging and fouling for strike 1. CC Sabathia 1 for Cleveland, shutting out Cincinnati. Doug Roquet in the bullpen. 6-0 final for the Indians. Grady Sizemore providing his 18th homer. Sabathia might be traded. He's in the final year of his contract. He wants a lot of money. Pickoff throw at second, and the runner gets back. 1-1. According to recent stories, the Yankees would be pursuers, much more so than the Red Sox. The Red Sox have a stronger rotation by far than the Yankees right now.
There's some talk that Tampa Bay might possibly make a play for Sabathia.
Yeah. Foul back by Drew. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know what today is the anniversary of?
June 27th. Nope. No
David
idea.
Clyde's major league debut, fresh out of Westbury High, with the Texas Rangers back in 1973.
I think he's still living in Houston.
Yeah, I see him at some golf tournaments around town in the off season.
Yeah.
Doing some teaching, clinics, and lessons and that kind of stuff.
Talk about being rushed to the big leagues. He was rushed. Westchester High School. Yeah, he was a real phenom. The Rangers needed a drawing card in the worst way. They were going nowhere. They were not drawing anybody. So they brought him to the big leagues very soon after drafting him. And that was not a good plan. 3 balls, 2 strikes now for Drew. And the bases are loaded on the walk. Now it's Alex Cora batting. Berkman in, and Tejada to talk it over with Wesley Wright. And Quintero to help him try to figure a way out of this bases loaded, nobody out situation.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm a big fan of all the infielders' trips to the mound. I think sometimes you can kind of cloud a pitcher's head. Got to be careful, you know, how many guys go in there, how often, and what they have to say.
Infield in, Cora 280, no homers, 4 runs batted in. He's had 50 at bats. Very good glove man. Ball 1 to Alex, who's 32 years old. Brother Joey Cora played in the big leagues for a long time. He's now a coach, I believe, for the White Sox. One ball, one strike. Mike Molchinski is the second base umpire. He's in a rather unusual position right now.
Isn't he the guy from Monsters, the movie there?
I'm not sure. He's playing behind Miguel Tejada and the base runner.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's playing Cora as an opposite field hitter.
There's the second base umpire out there.
Just trying to get out of Michael Bourne's way, I'm guessing. So you can see.
Can't figure it out. Popped up. Jeff Plum coming in. Quintero gives way to Berkman. Infield fly rule had been called, so the batter was out automatically. And that's 1 out.
High pop in the infield. Everybody converging. Scramble, scramble.
Now Cecil Cooper makes that walk out to the mound. He's going with a right-hander. Doug Brocail has been warming up. Bases loaded, 1 out. Mike Lowell will be the batter. The Astros are trailing by 3. That's it for Wesley Wright, who goes 1/3 of an inning. We'll be back with more in a moment. 1 out, 9th inning. Doug Brocail comes in. David Artsma is warming up for Boston. Brocail 2-3 with a 3.29 ERA.
Yeah, if the Red Sox bust this one wide open, Terry Francona maybe will just shut Papelbon down, bring Ardsman in to finish the ball game. So for that reason, it's important, even if you don't come back and win this game, you want Papelbon to have to work that ninth, maybe put his availability for tomorrow night in question.
Brocail with ball 1 to Lowell. Brocail worked Tuesday night in the Astros 4-3 win over Texas. 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs. Line up the middle and into center field. Scoring crisp. Pedroia coming home. The throw is cut off. A 2-run single by Lowell gives him 43 runs batted in, and 6-1 is Boston's lead.
A lot of the Astro fans will start heading towards the exit, but I don't think the Red Sox fans are going to go anywhere. See, that's what makes me question Geary's availability here. That Brocail, who's your 8th inning guy when you're trying to preserve a lead, will come into a game if you're losing.
Right. Broken bat by Youkilis. He singles to right field to load the bases. That's his 4th hit of the game.
Pretty good. He's 2 for 2 on broken bats tonight. Broken bat infield single, his first at bat, and now this one. Barrel of that bat flying all the way up the mound, almost hit Brocail in the leg, and Doug didn't see it coming. Yeah, did get. I think he got a piece of him. I'm guessing that's Maple bat.
Probably so. Jason Varitek has been on 3 times, 2 walks and a single. There's strike one. The last time Jeff Geary pitched was last Saturday at Tampa Bay. Went 2 1/3 innings. Brocail's pitched in half the Astros games this year. No balls, 2 strikes. This is Doug's 41st appearance. Game number 80. So that will lead you to wonder about Geary's availability, that he's not at least warmed up in this game. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Brocail usually reserved for 8th inning leading type situations. Base runners are Drew, Lowell, and Youkilis. Brandon Moss is in the on-deck circle. A left-handed hitter with the pitcher Spadu up next. 1-2. And with Aardsma in the bullpen. Boston lead now at 5 runs. If the Red Sox prolong the inning, we might see Moss. Loretta gets it to Tejada and then on to Berkman. Double play. And in the 9th inning, the Red Sox add to their lead with 2 runs, 3 hits. They strand 2, 6-1 Boston. Boston over Houston. Jonathan Papelbon does stay in. Brandon Moss was on deck when Varitek bounced into the inning-ending double play. It appeared that if the pitcher spot did come up, Moss would pinch hit. Maybe Papelbon would have been taken out. And David Aardsman was warming up, but now Papelbon will stay in with Lee, Blum, and Pence due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. And since the lead was 3 runs when he came in, he would still get a save, of course, if he finishes out this ball game and the Red Sox win it. Lee is 0 for 3. Carlos has hit the ball in the air all 3 times. He hit a warning track fly ball to center in the 2nd inning, lined hard to right in the 4th. Another fly ball went to right in the 6th inning. And that one outside, ball 1. The Red Sox have out hit the Astros 12-4. The Red Sox have stranded 10 runners. Houston has left 6.
Again, the mission for the Astros here in the bottom of the 9th. Obviously, you don't discount the miracle finish. And hard to expect it to happen here against Papelbon.
Mark Lowell takes care of out number 1.
But I know Cecil Cooper and Sean Berry, what they're thinking over there is, come on, guys, just give me some good at-bats. Try to extend Papelbon a little bit. And, you know Terry Francona doesn't want to have to use him in back-to-back nights for more than an inning at a time. So even if you shorten his availability for tomorrow night. But he's only thrown 8 pitches so far.
Jeff Blum's 0 for 3. And fouls it back, strike 1. Papelbon's done a great job against left-handed hitters, allowing a 197 batting average to them. Only 1 homer allowed in 66 at bats. Phillies.
Go ahead.
Phillies are making it rough at Texas. They've scored a run in the 9th inning, and Texas hanging on to an 8-7 lead right now with C.J. Wilson trying to finish it out. To right field, J.D. Drew heads back for the wall. And on the warning track, he handles it. 2 outs.
Well, it's a whole lot of just missed for Jeff Blum tonight.
Yeah.
He's had some pretty good swings all night. Last time up, just missed a home run. This time up, just got underneath it a little bit.
Two outs now. It's Hunter Pence batting. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. The Astros with just 4 hits tonight, a homer and 3 singles. There's ball 1 for Papelbon at 94. Yankees beat the Mets 9-0. Sidney Ponson won that game, beating Pedro Martinez. So Ponson picked up after the Rangers really ripped him when they released him. Turns out good for the Yankees tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. If you have talent, you can pitch at the major league level, you carry some baggage, you're probably going to get a lot of opportunities.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah. Cora makes the final play. 1-2-3, 9th inning for Papelbon, who retired 4 straight. Red Sox win it 6-1.